FDA just approved a new medication that can help lessen the severity of allergic reactions. It's an injection called Xolair, which was originally invented to treat asthma. We first told you about this yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. This morning we have our 9 News medical expert, Dr. Payal Kohli, in studio to tell us a little bit more about what's at play here. Dr. Kohli, thanks for being with us.
Good morning, guys.
Explain to us how this medication works.
You know, such a breakthrough in treatment of food allergies because we have so many Americans with food allergies that, you know, in 2021, 6% of people with severe allergies were actually exposed to the antigen, to the things that they were allergic to. So this is the first real treatment for that. And the way that this injection works, you get it every few weeks at home or at the doctor's office. The dose depends basically on how severe your allergy is and your size. And it turns down the volume on your immune response to the allergy. Because basically what an allergy is an overreaction of the immune system to something benign, like a peanut or eggs or milk or what have you. So instead of the immune system kind of running away, turning up the volume, creating all those chemical responses, it prevents those chemicals from amplifying and turns down the volume.
And this would be not only for peanuts, but milk, for eggs, for all of them, an injection. Will it end up curing it, or is this just something to make the symptoms more mild?
Yeah, unfortunately the latter. We don't have a cure for food allergies. Some people outgrow them, and so the immune system kind of gets used to it over time. We do have something called immunotherapy, where you sort of try to train the immune system to react less to those antigens by giving them like injections of peanuts or what have you slowly over many, many months. But this just is not a cure. It's just a less severe reaction. So let's say you're sitting on a plane and somebody opens a pack of peanuts and you get accidentally exposed, or you go to Whole Foods and the salad bar is contaminated or what have you, you're not going to go into anaphylaxis. But in this trial that they did, about somewhere in the 65 to 70% of people didn't have a moderate to severe reaction to peanuts or milk or eggs, but that means the remainder of them still unfortunately did.
Right.
It does seem like more and more people have food allergies, peanut allergies, and when we ever went to school, I mean, everyone packed peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and
Here's
now
never an issue.
You can't do that. What is the reasoning? Has there been any look into that?
You know, there's some scientific hypotheses as to why this is, because it is increasing, especially in developed countries like the United States. We're having more and more kids have these. So the first is that we're not introducing food antigens or solid food early enough. So when a baby is born, you're sort of training their immune system to get used to the environment. And if you wait too long to introduce them to solid foods, that immune system doesn't recognize that as a benign or innocuous antigen and thinks it's something bad and starts reacting to it. So in other countries where they introduce food earlier, we have a lower incidence. The second is something called the hygiene hypothesis, which is that we're keeping our kids a little bit too clean. And so their immune system's almost a little bit overreactive or spazzy. It basically overreacts to benign antigens because it's not used to seeing bacteria, dirt, viruses, those types of things. So earlier introduction of dirty living conditions can actually reduce the risk of having food allergies later in life.
Which you understand. I think a lot of parents are thinking they're protecting their children, when really now we learn it could be doing the opposite right there. Is there a sweet spot when it comes to how early you introduce them to all of this?
Yeah, there is a sweet spot. I would talk to your pediatrician about it, especially if you have a family history of allergies. So like in my family, for example, everybody has asthma, eczema, and food allergies. And so we're sort of primed to be overreactive because our immune systems are that way. So that may be of someone that you want to introduce at a few months rather than waiting a little bit longer. But really a discussion with your pediatrician, making a sort of a plan. And I'm not saying let your kids play in the dirt and be dirty. That's not the point here. But at the same time, really sort of, if they're starting to show signs of potentially having food allergies, like my little niece, 2 years old, she's so allergic to everything, then you may want to talk to your pediatrician about this type of a medication potentially earlier in life, because you can use it for kids 1 and older, and you can, of course, use it for adults as well.
Dr. Kohli, I have to ask you one more question. We're almost out of time, but this is one of several that are in the works. We've talked about the peanut patch as well. There's so many times that we hear about these coming down the pipeline and then we just don't see them. Something happens. Is this something that families who are suffering with peanut allergies or whatever can really get excited about?
Yes, and it's available now. As you said, it's already been approved for asthma. It's been around since 2003. So the drug's already out there. Just go talk to your pediatrician. To me, the biggest barrier, and hopefully not a real one, is the cost. $2,900 to $5,000 a month. month without insurance. And so hopefully if your kid really does have allergies, or you as an adult have allergies, you can talk to your doctor about coverage and try to get this covered, because I really do think it'll make a huge difference. Now, whether you'll need the drug for long term as a maintenance,
Right.
you'll have to get shots all the time, or whether you can just do the treatment period and then sort of turn that volume down and keep it down, that still needs further investigation.
Interesting. Dr. Kohli, thank you. All right, by the way, don't forget, like I almost just did right now, you can find all of Dr. Kohli's appearances. She has so many of them from 9 News. You just go to 9news.com/Dr. Kohli and you can find all of them on